Again, Marvin Ammori, General Counsel of Free Press. So when Ben and Markham were talking about the debate between open networks and closed networks, a lot of the debate has to do with the future and what future innovations will look like and things that people don't even have access to yet and what they could be. The issue I'm going to talk about is something that people already know about, which is the internet. People expect the internet to be open and free. They expect to be able to go anywhere on the internet, to access any application, to get any content, and that is what's being threatened, and that's the episode I'm going to talk about. This has to do with Comcast secretly blocking and degrading a series of innovative technologies that people want to use online. And this is, as Ben mentioned, caused quite a ruckus. It's been covered in the media quite a bit. The FCC is having a hearing on the issue. Comcast and all of their friends have filed with the FCC, and it's become a real central flashpoint for this debate. Now, back in the summer of 2007, a few months ago, there were reports that Comcast was blocking some innovative technologies for downloading video and TV programming. Now, Comcast at first totally denied it, said, oh, we're not interfering with those technologies. They must not be working or something. And then a few months later, the Associated Press discovered that Comcast was, in fact, blocking these technologies. The Electronic Frontier Foundation, a consumer group in San Francisco, confirmed that. And so the Associated Press's study involved the King James Bible. It involved the BitTorrent protocol. And as it turns out, Comcast was blocking your ability to share the King James Bible with your friends. Now, the initial defense by Comcast was, well, the reasons why we're affecting the BitTorrent protocol is because of all this bandwidth being used by it. But as we know, the King James Bible is not a very big file. I mean, the Associated Press wasn't trying to share The Godfather Part 2 on high def. It was the King James Bible. And other people had said, oh, well, these BitTorrent technologies are used to share copyrighted materials, like pirated materials. Well, the King James Bible is not copyrighted, and it was being blocked. And as we learned more about BitTorrent, it was a technology I didn't even know all that much about. It turns out it's the most efficient way to share large files online. It's used by software programmers and developers to share software, like if you're working remotely with other software developers. It's used to distribute software once it's been developed, like Linux. It's used by NASA to share their Visible Earth project. If you're a kid or just a curious person and want to see pictures of the Earth from outer space, that's how you get it, through BitTorrent. And it's also the emerging standard for distributing legal TV programming and legal movies. And so all the big boys use it. Fox, CBS, ABC, PBS. It's the online standard for legal video distribution. And so when we discovered this problem, we filed a petition with the FCC asking for, essentially to declare that this is outlawed. We filed a complaint with the FCC asking the FCC to punish Comcast. And what ended up happening was not what happened with the Verizon episode. Right? With the Verizon episode, New York Times reported it and Verizon backed off and said, oh, we made a mistake. Here, Comcast essentially doubled down and said, well, yeah, we're doing it kind of, we're not sure yet. Yeah, we are doing it, and in fact, we can do it. And you can't stop us. And so the resolution might end up happening at the FCC or at Congress. And our argument, just in brief, was that we wanted to establish the rules of the road for the internet. What everyone thought the rules of the road were was the FCC's Internet Policy Statement of 2005. The FCC has a very important policy statement saying protecting consumers' rights, saying that consumers are entitled to access all the content of their choice, to run all the applications of their choice. So if you want to get the content of PBS over the BitTorrent application, you have that right. The FCC also guaranteed in that policy statement the right to attach the devices of your choice. So if you want to attach a Dell computer to the internet, or an Apple computer, or a device that takes your online BitTorrent TV and online TV and puts it on your TV screen, you could attach that as well. Right? These sorts of things. And we're waiting on the resolution of the petition. All the proceedings are still going on. 2 weeks after we filed our petition, a company named Vuz Inc., which distributes like really high quality video online, also filed a petition. They use the BitTorrent protocol. This isn't like YouTube video, really small little clips that are really short and grainy. This is like high quality, full program length video they're providing. And this is a company out in Silicon Valley that's raised millions of dollars and that needs some certainty that their business model won't be blocked. So I just want to focus on 3 lessons of this episode for the larger debate and how important it is. The first lesson is that there is a problem. For years, the phone and cable companies were saying, oh, there's no problem. We don't need net neutrality regulation. We don't need any regulation. Just trust us. We'll just do the right thing for consumers, and we'll give them open access. We have no incentive to block anything. As it turns out, now they're blocking, and they're now claiming the FCC has no authority to stop them. And on top of that, competition won't stop them. Right? The preferred solution would be competition, but the cable and phone companies have lobbied the FCC in a way to essentially eliminate competition. In the dial-up world, you could have chosen your ISP. You could have gone to AOL. You could have gone to Earthlink. You could have gone to NetZero. You could have gone to Verizon's dial-up provider. But you had choice in competition. Now that's been eliminated, and you have a choice between a cable company and a phone company. So there is a problem, and it needs to be addressed. The second lesson is that without competition and with this kind of blocking, consumers will be harmed. They'll be harmed because there'll be less innovation, and we're not even sure the kind of innovation that's going to be harmed. We can't even predict it. The guy who invented the BitTorrent protocol, Bram Cohen, sort of gave it to the public as open source, and apparently he had no idea even the kinds of innovations that would come out of just that one protocol. Right? And if Comcast is asserting the right to block, who knows what kind of innovations will be stopped? Which brilliant ideas won't be funded because you don't have permission from the cable company to innovate. You're also harmed in terms of freedom of speech. One of the companies that filed with us, actually in our comments, is a nonprofit that uses BitTorrent and other technologies to distribute all kinds of programming, 5,000 channels or something. Democracy Now!, PBS, ABC, and it's just sort of this free-flowing, get the information out there, participatory culture. And for a lot of these channels, the key to them is expression and freedom of speech and getting their message out there to people who want it. And for people who want to hear the message and want the choice, for them it's a matter of freedom of speech. And finally, Comcast actions under competition. Now Comcast provides you with TV at home, provides you with video on demand, where you can essentially download a TV show and watch it, provides you with online distribution of TV. And BitTorrent and these technologies all compete with all of those things. They compete with people watching TV on TV, through video on demand especially, and online through Comcast offerings. So here we've got Comcast not only threatening innovation everywhere, who knows where, but definitely with innovation that competes with their products. And the Vuz general counsel has had a pretty good metaphor trying to sum it up. Comcast had said, oh, we're just slowing down a little bit of traffic, right? Now Vuz, the general counsel of Vuz had been at eBay and had done all these studies, and if you slow down traffic a little bit, the effect is essentially to block it. People will stop using it, think it doesn't work, and just move. So you might as well just block it. They're just slowing it down. And their metaphor was, it's like a traffic light. And his metaphor was, it's not like a traffic light. It's like a horse race, and Comcast has a horse in that race. And they not only have a horse in that race, they own the whole track. And they're slowing down all the other horses just a little bit, just a few seconds. And you got to ask yourself, which horse would you bet on in a race like that? And so the final takeaway point, going to the larger issue, is that Congress back in 1996 defined a vision for networks that were two-way, that provided consumers with the ability to receive high-quality content, video content, data content, all this kind of content specifically, and to originate this kind of content. So people can, through peer-to-peer technology or whatever, speak to each other and share this kind of content and produce it themselves and distribute it. Now, what Comcast is saying, in the way they've designed their networks and in the way they're discriminating against these kinds of technologies that allow you to share and originate content, is that they want one-way networks, a lot like their cable television offerings that they're trying to protect. And so you got to ask yourself, do we want a free and open internet where everyone can speak to one another, get whatever kind of content or data or video you want, or do we want just more cable TV?